Boglehead's Guide to Investing by Taylor Larimore, Mel Lindauer, and Michael LeBoeuf. Foreword by John Bogle. This is a book summary. You're 65 years old, sitting on your porch in a worn-out rocking chair, watching the sun dip behind the horizon. A warm cup of coffee rests in your hands, but there's a chill in the air, and it's not the weather. It's the weight of a reality you never saw coming. You've worked your whole life, showed up on time, paid your dues, but somehow, you're broke. Not because you were lazy, not because life dealt you a bad hand, but because no one ever taught you how to make your money work for you. Now, retirement feels more like a sentence than a reward, and that dream of traveling, spoiling your grandkids, or simply living without worry, it's vanished. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to end this way. Today we're unlocking the timeless wisdom inside the Boglehead's Guide to Investing. A book that's not about flashy stock picks or get-rich-quick schemes, but about freedom, financial peace, and building real wealth, the kind that lasts, even if you don't know a stock from a sock. So grab a notebook or just sit back, breathe, and listen. Because by the end of this video, you might just be on the path to a completely different future. Let's get into it. Let's clear something up right away. No, Bogleheads aren't those bobblehead dolls you see bouncing around in the back window of someone's car. And no, this isn't some underground investing cult with secret handshakes and crypto passwords. There's something far more powerful and real. Bogleheads are a community of everyday people. Teachers, nurses, retirees, college students, stay-at-home parents. They're people just like you and me, folks who got tired of Wall Street noise and decided to take control of their financial futures using one man's philosophy. That man? John C. Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, the creator of the world's first index fund, a man who walked into an industry designed to confuse and exploit everyday investors, and flipped the script. While other firms were charging sky-high fees and selling promises they couldn't keep, Bogle stepped up and said something radical. Most people trying to beat the market fail. He didn't say it quietly either. He shouted it from the rooftops and backed it up with data, decades of research, and the revolutionary idea that simplicity is the key to success. Instead of chasing hot stocks or listening to slick-talking brokers, Bogle said, "Buy the whole market. Do it at the lowest possible cost. Then leave it alone." And just like that, a movement was born. The Bogleheads. What started as a few die-hard fans on an internet forum soon became a global community. And their investing principles? They're not just smart, they're backed by math, history, and time. In the Boglehead's Guide to Investing, authors Taylor Larimore, Mel Lindauer, and Michael LeBoeuf, three regular guys who became financial sages, break it all down. No fluff, no hype, just real-world wisdom about how to build wealth, quietly, steadily, and confidently. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about beating the market. It's about beating fear, beating confusion, beating the odds, and finally, winning with money. Let me take you inside three very different homes, three different lives, all shaped by how people think about money. We're talking about the borrowers, the consumers, and the keepers. Meet Bill and Betty Borrower. On the surface, they've got it all. A brand new SUV in the driveway. An Insta-worthy kitchen renovation. Designer everything. They just got back from a cruise, Caribbean sunsets, champagne toasts, the works. But here's what you don't see. The car, leased. The vacation, charged. That kitchen, paid with a home equity loan. And the credit card balances, so high, they're only making the minimum payments, if that. They're not just living on the edge, they're building their future out of a house of cards. And in the words of the Bogleheads, they're robbing tomorrow to pay for today. Then there's Chad and Kathy Consumer. They're not reckless, at least not like the borrowers. They pay their bills, they show up to work, they're doing okay. But here's the problem, they spend everything they earn. Every dollar has a destination. New gadgets, meals out, kids' activities, a bigger TV, you name it. When payday hits, the money flows out like clockwork. They've heard of 401ks and Roth IRAs, Maybe even glanced at the paperwork once or twice, but saving for retirement. That's for later. Right now, they're keeping up with the Joneses, who, by the way, are also broke. And finally, we meet Ken and Kim Keeper. No flashing lights, no luxury vehicles. But there's something powerful happening behind that modest front door. Every month, they quietly put away 10 to 15% of their income. They max out their Roth IRAs, take full advantage of their employer's 401k match, and invest it all into low-cost index funds, just like Jack Bogle taught. They track their net worth, not their Instagram likes. They drive older cars, skip impulse buys, and when they vacation, they pay cash. They're not trying to look rich, they're trying to be free. And years from now, while Bill and Betty are drowning in debt, and Chad and Kathy are scrambling to delay retirement, Ken and Kim, they're drinking piña coladas on a beach in Costa Rica, checking their account balance, and smiling. Because as the Bogleheads Guide to Investing says clearly, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So now you're probably wondering, what's their secret? What do the Bogleheads do differently? Well, the truth is, it's not really a secret. It's just that most people are too distracted, too impatient, or too caught up in Wall Street hype to actually do it. The Bogleheads follow a set of timeless, battle-tested principles. Think of them as your golden rules for building wealth, straight from the pages of the book. Rule number 1. Start early, invest regularly. Time is the greatest multiplier of wealth. Even small amounts, invested consistently, snowball into serious money. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market. Rule number 2, know what you're buying. Forget your cousin's hot stock tip or that TikTok crypto guru. Bogleheads invest in diversified index funds, low-cost, no-fuss baskets of the entire market. They don't chase unicorns. They build fortresses. Rule 3. Keep costs low. In the world of investing, fees are the silent killer. A 2% management fee doesn't sound like much, but over 30 years, it can eat up half your gains. That's why Bogleheads use index funds with razor-thin expense ratios. Less money to Wall Street, more money to you. They don't panic when the market dips. They don't FOMO into meme stocks. They tune out the noise and stick to their plan because they know discipline beats drama. Once a year, they check their portfolio, rebalance if needed, then go live their lives. No day trading, no endless screen staring. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't lose money because of the market. They lose money because of themselves. The market dips and panic takes over. People sell low, swearing they'll buy back in later, but never do. Then the market rallies, and suddenly, fear turns into FOMO. They pile in at the top, hoping to ride the wave, just before it crashes. This emotional roller coaster? It's not just theory. It's a trap most of us fall into. In the Bogleheads Guide to Investing, the authors warn us. When emotions drive your investing decisions, it's like handing the wheel to a drunk driver. But the Bogleheads, they don't flinch. They've trained themselves to think long-term, to zoom out when everyone else is zooming in. Because they understand that markets move in cycles, but discipline builds wealth. They don't obsess over cable news or market predictions. They don't scream sell everything when the economy hiccups. They simply rebalance, refocus, and relax. Why? Because they know the biggest threat to your portfolio isn't a recession. It's you when fear, greed, or overconfidence take the wheel. They've learned the ultimate investing skill, mastering their emotions. And in a world full of noise, that's a superpower. Now let's talk about something deeper. Because this journey, it's not just about you. It's about what and who you leave behind. The Boglehead mindset isn't just about growing your wealth. It's about protecting it, preserving it, passing it on. They plan for the long game. They buy the right insurance, not just to protect things, but to protect people. They build a retirement income strategy that lasts longer than they do. And they think ahead, with wills, estate plans, and clear instructions for the ones they love. Why? Because money isn't the goal. Freedom is. Freedom to live life on your terms. Freedom to sleep well at night. Freedom to give, to share, and to leave something that matters. In the book, the authors say, the purpose of investing is not to beat the market. It's to reach your life goals. And that includes making sure the people you care about are taken care of long after you're gone. That's legacy. That's financial peace. That's what it really means to be a Boglehead. So here's your final message from the Boglehead's Guide to Investing. Get your financial house in order. Start early. Keep it simple. And never ever let Wall Street's chaos steer your clarity. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need to pick the next Apple or Bitcoin. You don't need luck. You need a plan. And the patience to stick with it. Because being a Boglehead isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about playing the long game and winning on your own terms. Thanks for watching. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe for more no BS financial wisdom, and drop a comment below. Until next time, stay smart, stay steady, and remember, you can do this.